The morning after my sister's wedding, I woke up to a flood of pictures on social media: white roses, crystal chandeliers, a 5-tier cake, delicate gold trim. My parents had spent $50,000 on this. And I wasn't even invited. No explanations. No apologies. Just silence. I wasn't going to rant. I was going to play the long game. 6 months later, I received an invitation to an exclusive charity gala in Paris. Hosted by the Whitleys, a family known for their old money and powerful connections. By sheer luck, or fate, I had recently landed a lucrative business deal with them. My sister and her husband were desperate to climb the social ladder. And they had been begging for an introduction to the Whitleys. My parents also wanted the same. So when they found out I had an invitation, my phone rang nonstop. "Sweetheart," my mother began. "Oh, Mom," I cut in, voice smooth. "I didn't think you'd be interested in my social life. You know, since I wasn't even worthy of a wedding invitation." There was a pause. A heavy silence. Then my sister's voice broke in, falsely cheerful. "Come on, it was just a small mistake. We'd love to make it up to you. And, by the way, we heard you'll be meeting the Whitleys." How exciting. I played along, acting hesitant at first before reluctantly agreeing to bring them as my guests. My father, always one to chase status, even sent $20,000 to my account as a gift. I smiled as I transferred it to a foundation for underprivileged kids. At least someone would benefit from this game. The night of the gala, I made sure my sister and her husband arrived separately. They walked in with confidence, expecting my introduction. I, however, was already inside, sipping champagne and engaged in conversation with the Whitleys. When my parents and sister finally spotted me, they waved eagerly. I met their eyes, held their gazes, and turned away. They moved closer, trying to blend into the powerful crowd, but something was off. Every time they introduced themselves, the responses were cold, dismissive. That's because, before they arrived, I had made sure everyone knew exactly who they were. The people who had disowned their own daughter from a family event for no good reason. "Oh, those are your parents?" Mrs. Whitley had said, a sharp edge to her smile. What a fascinating lack of decorum. It spread like wildfire. By the time my family reached me, they had been frozen out completely. My sister, flustered, tried one last time. "Could you at least introduce us?" she pleaded. I looked at her for a long moment. Then, with a slow smile, I said, "Oh. I didn't think you'd be interested in my world. You know, since I wasn't important enough to be part of yours." Then I turned away. For the rest of the night, I danced, laughed, and networked with the wealthiest people in the room, while my family stood awkwardly in the shadows, watching as their grand ambitions crumbled before their eyes.